Hello, this is Roland. Welcome. Today I want to just read a little something to you from the Epistle of James. It's a very beautiful passage, and it has to do with facing the trials and temptations and vicissitudes of life. You've probably heard this before. It's very famous, but I want to read it to you. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and whole, lacking nothing. So he's saying, count it a joy when you fall into various vicissitudes of life, because the trying of your faith worketh patience. And let patience have its perfect work, so that you may be whole and lacking nothing. So what he's saying is that if, like a man once said so cleverly, wish I had said it, he said, there can be no courage without danger. Okay, there has to be danger in order for there to be courage. There has to be hate so that you can express love. And the lion tamer needs the lion. See, you can't be a fearless lion tamer if you don't have a lion to practice on. You can't learn to play the piano without a piano to practice on, or a violin. See? You can't learn to play tennis unless you actually play tennis. So when people are rude, or people are impatient, or people say mean things, or they mess up, or they, whatever they do, be glad, because it's a chance for you to practice patience, so that patience can have its perfect work, so that you may become complete or whole, lacking nothing. You see? So that's why, you can't go hide in a monastery somewhere. You can't go off and hide, because you need to be out in the world. But having said that, you have to be attached to your inner ground of good. Buddha talked about detachment, becoming detached. He was right. I think Buddha was much wiser than people realize. See, what happened is, after Buddha, then his followers came along and they messed everything up. They made it into rituals and dogmas and practices and things that you have to do. See, it's always that way. It happened to Buddhism, to Christianity. It happens to everything. So the sweet truth becomes totally corrupt and ruined. But don't let it be ruined for you. Just see that there is a truth, and you must relate directly to that truth. See, that's what it is. You don't need a middleman. You don't need a middleman. You can relate directly to truth, to your intuition, conscience, to what you know in your heart. Okay? You were close to that when you were a little child, but you lost it when you became emotionalized, and then you became worldly and outer directed. So here's the thing. You become detached, but reattached. Detached from the world, but attached to your inner good, attached to your intuition, which means that you learn to trust your intuition instead of doubting it. See, you've always doubted your intuition. How many times have you heard people say, trust your gut, trust your intuition? Okay, but then what do? You doubt it. See, you discount it. You don't even pay attention to it. You listen to what other people say, to what authorities say, teachers say, experts say, to what See? Or nutty ideas that pop into your mind, or what you read in a book somewhere, or what some teacher said. You have to learn to trust what you know in your heart. So, you've always, see, you fell away from that when you were a little child, so you grew up pretty much having to rely on other people and what they said. Well, that's okay, that's normal, that's the way it is. But now that you're an adult, you have to refine your intuition and begin to flow from it, like Albert Einstein did. All the great inventors and explorers and the truly great artists, Mozart and Beethoven, and the true mystics, see. Now maybe they're 1 in 1,000, these types. Maybe they're 1 in 10,000. Maybe they're 1 in 1,000,000. I don't know. Sometimes I think it's 1 in 1,000,000, and other times I think just, maybe there are a lot more people. See, there are a lot more people who could find their intuition and begin to flow. You could become your own person. You could become a genius. You could become adept at handling things and have savoir-faire and know the right word, to know the proper measure of giving and withholding. You'd know what to say, what not to say. You'd have grace and tact and wisdom and understanding to deal with other people. But now you don't have that. Now you're like a selfish ego. See? Without any understanding at all, just some kind of knowledge that you got from other people, which is very crude and often wrong. So, how you get back in touch with your intuition? Well, it's like I've always said. You can try the meditation that I have. The meditation that I have will help you. Secondly, you just simply have to see that you've become outer-directed and you're not your own person. You've been misled, and then you resented people for misleading you. Now you have to trust what you know in your heart again. So you have understanding, which comes to you in the moment. See? It comes to you wordlessly.